Hey guys, Matt here, Broken Super Coach, checking in. Thought I'd give a little channel update and then provide the team. I realise I'm quite late to the party here, but sort of lost interest in Super Coach towards the end of last year. Tilted pretty hard on the competition. Wasn't having a great year. Just couldn't get back. Couldn't find the right avenues. Ended up finishing around 10, 11k, which is pretty poor compared to my normal years, but it is what it is. Um, and on top of that, I had a few personal things towards the end of the year as well. So I figured give it a rest, take it easy. As the year went on, I had planned on sort of bringing the channel back, but just didn't know where to sit with it. Supercoach videos are a bit samey. I don't know if you've watched, there's a lot of really great Supercoach content creators out there. Even smaller channels, those sort of 100, 200, 300 view channels. Some of them are really good and provide a lot of insight. And realistically, Supercoach is a bit of a solved game. Everyone knows how to play it. Everyone seems exactly the same. There's no there's very little variety. When I show you this team, I'll give you a pre-warning. It's going to be the same as everyone's team, really, because everyone has the exact same players outside of like four guys. So as long as your team looks similar to all of those, that's cool. We will try to keep it a short video. That's sort of always been my thing. I like to have them pretty short. Try to keep them below 10, even though sometimes I can yap a little bit. As far as a channel update goes, where I want to take the channel, I don't really want to focus on just Supercoach only this year. I think I want to get into sort of talking head stuff. So going to look into getting a webcam soon. A lot of talking head stuff, just talking about footy in general. We may even branch off to some other things. Um, I commentate wrestling pretty often, so we may do some wrestling stuff. But at the moment, we'll keep this one just AFL Supercoach. We'll go back to our old bread and butter, which is Supercoach content. So let's have a look at how the team's going to look. Now, what is it? It's Thursday morning, so there's a game tonight. There'll be a sub announcement an hour before the game, and there'll be teams probably 2 hours before the game. So every video you've watched, we'll take those into account big time. So I'm gonna go into here. I'll show you. Oh yeah. Before we get in, I'm running this add-on. It was called SC Mob, but now it's called Footy Scores Extension. Um, you would have seen it if you're on the Fan Footy Discord, or you've seen it on a few other videos. It just allows you to do dark mode. I don't really care about the. See, it does. I don't really care about the pictures and all that. And actually, I, I would like to. I like the pictures, but but I don't like this stuff. So let me free bit of input on the app. This sort of stuff here, this purple. So like the idea is, before we'll get into the team, so the idea is Butters has West Coast, Richmond, Melbourne, which are easy scores, but that's not true at all because Butters' worst team is West Coast. So this is pure bait. Don't fall for it. So I turned that off, but I do like the pictures, especially if you don't know who some of these guys are. You see them, and then when you're watching the game, you can identify them. So that's pretty cool, as well as dark mode. I'm big on dark mode. Flashbanging yourself, flashbanging your audience is an incredible scene. So don't do that. Put dark mode on everything you can possibly do. The fact that Supercoach doesn't offer one is pretty wild, if you ask me. So yeah, I'm not going to do a slow reveal when my team's blank, and I'm going to slowly add them in. We're just going to put them there. So if you really want, I'll just go like that. You can look at it, you can pause, you can look at it, and you can literally just click out of the video. It doesn't bother me. If that's what you want to do, go right ahead. There you go, right there. Little bit of chat about them. So realistically, you've kind of have to own these guys: Williams, Gibcus, Howes, Reed. You kind of have to own them. Everyone has them, assuming Reed gets picked. That is because we haven't seen him, but we've seen Howes, we've seen Gibcus, we've seen Williams. You have to own them. Um, and then there's sort of a bit of flexibility with Phillips. So you can choose Phillips if you want, or you can pick Caulfield. Got a lot of people going with Caulfield. I think the sub risk is a little scary for Caulfield. That said, if Phillips doesn't get picked or is the sub, then maybe we go back to Caulfield. Got the money to do it. As far as the three goes, there's probably I think you pretty much have to take Hayden Young based on his preseason and his price. If you're not picking Nick Dacos, you're probably trolling. Even though this week he won't, um, probably won't score hugely, which is why I don't have the V on him. But you've got to take Nick Dacos. Like you're literally trolling if you don't. And then Sheasel. But you can switch that up to guys like see some people going Sicily. I don't like it. I think he'll play too tall. and Stewart. And Stewart burned me too many times last year, so I'm not going to go anywhere near him again. He's just one of the guys. I'm not going to have it anymore. Should we zoom in once more? Let's do it. So realistically, that's the defense. Phillips is a TBA at the moment, but for 20K, for guys you're probably not going to use, that's pretty good. So if he plays, he's in for me. The midfield, very similar to everyone else's midfield. I think I've got one extra premium than most do, um, based on and one less mid prices. So I've just saved money. I think in the defense because some people have gone four premiums in the defense and not had this Phillips slot, and therefore not fielded sort of Gibcus or Howes, which I don't think is as good an improvement as running an extra one here and not having to field McKercher. I think the point breakdown is a bit better that way. So yeah, they're the primos. Not going to talk about Bont. That's a yeah that you if you don't. Oh, actually, I will talk about Bont because if you don't pick Bont, you're going to end up like I was last year. So I didn't pick Bont last year. I picked Neil instead. That was the bane of my season. I nearly I had to do like four trades to get Bont in, which was crazy. So I'll be starting Bont permanently. He's in my team all the time. Same as Dacos. Those two first pick for me. So I went Dawson. I'm a Crows man, so bit of Crows flair. You got to have fun. Pick guys from your own team. It's a lot. It's much more fun doing it that way. So yeah, we're all trying to get high. We're all trying to win our leagues, but at the end of the day, if you have a bad season, at least you can pick a few guys from your own team. You have a bit of a laugh. And with that said, Dawson's the only great player I picked. Butters, don't like that he got injured, but yeah, he was very good for me last year. I think he'll be very good again. I think he's going to have a down week this week because historically he does not play well against West Coast. Hasn't turned up against them in 4 years, maybe ever. In fact, if that is any indication, he may never have turned up against West Coast. So not expecting a VC on him, but we're not picking him for one score. We're picking him for the season. So we'll do that. Wait, any danger I can close that. No, now that I've opened it, it's on forever. Cool, man. Um, Green. I didn't want Green at first, but geez, way too tempting now that I've seen the now that we've seen him play once. Looks delicious. Um, I think I had him for a fair bit last year. Same again. Historically, not great against North, but I'm going to VC him, see how we go. I think North are a different footy team. This was in Tasmania as well. So again, this is a delicious lineup, Northwest Gold Coast. There is a buy in there, I think. Yeah, there's a round three buy. So not ideal, but that's why I'm trying to avoid these opening round players. Wines, I hate this pick. Maybe Martin instead. I still might switch it up to Martin. I'll have a look at structures, but I hate the Wines pick. I don't trust it at all. I don't think it's that impressive that he scored a lot in the preseason game, being that Butters was out. I think their main mids are going to be Butters and Rosie. I think Boak will go in there a little bit. I think Willem Drew goes in there a little bit. I think even guys like Jackson Mead will start to run through, which means, yeah, Ollie Wines, just, I'm not hugely sold on him. If you had to choose, like, they're not going to run, he's not going to get the most CBAs, which means he has to sit somewhere else, and I just don't like it. I think the only reason he scored high in preseason is because Butters wasn't playing. So I think this is a little bit of a bait pick. I think I'm going to go back to Martin. Um, Nick Martin, that is, later. And then these rookies pick themselves. All right. You don't need anything. We've seen this guy play, looks unbelievable. The rest, you just got to have these guys. There's really no one else. Carroll, I think, is the other one. You can trade down to him in round four. It's no big deal. He's going to play one less. So you can use someone like a Roberts who'll play three and go down. Maybe. I just don't believe in Carroll. I like these guys more. I'll go English over Gorn. I think Gorn will be fine, but I can't not have English, and now everyone picks Grundy. I think you have to pick Grundy. That's an obvious one. I'm going to speed through this because, like I said, I like to keep them quick, and I don't really want to go too far over for you. So we will chat a little bit about Livingston. So everyone had Naismith here, but with Naismith not being picked, the minute Nank was fit, then I'll take the 20K and I'll just run a loop. I'll take a Sunday ruck. Plus, I actually think there's a chance this guy plays a little bit. West Coast are always injured. They've always got injuries. I think he could get a run. They played nearly everyone on their list last year. So is that going to happen again? Probably not. But There's a chance that he can even play, and that'd be really cool. If he can get 3 games and a bit of money out of us, that's cool. We're running him as a loop. So we're gonna do that. And worst case, Naismith does come back down the line. It's 20K. You go up to him, you make the money, you trade him back down for Livingston later. It's no big deal. We have 40 trades. Forward line, cannot believe this. So one thing I'll preface: Seth Campbell, if he's named as sub, which would be pretty crazy, but if he's named as sub, then I'll probably bring him out of the team. Maybe I'll think about it because I'm not sure there's any better options here other than putting Windsor down and picking Jack Carroll. Um, so hopefully he does it. If he gets subbed out, it's not the end of the world because I think he'll get picked again. But yeah, I'm not hugely confident in this, and I would actually love to pick an extra guy here, perhaps a Luke Jackson, something like that, over one of these guys. For instance, perhaps Wines out, Carroll in, and then Seth Campbell up to another mid pricer like James Jordan or something like that. But I don't really want too many opening round guys, so that's how my structure is at the moment. And I don't want. I've got so many Sydney guys already who play one less than everyone else. So Flanders, Heaney was delicious. You can't ignore that. Fisher was really good in the preseason, and I have the money for him instead of Larazzo. So I just think it doesn't matter if you go Larazzo or Fisher and Larazzo. I don't think it matters. I just think on field Fisher is going to be a far better option, and I've got the money, so you spend your money where you can. Harley Reid, yeah. Sexton picks himself. Wilson, I think, is the field option. Looked good in St Kilda's preseason. Bit of DPP as well. Won't be able to loop him early, but bit of DPP with Windsor. I expect all these guys go to around 60, 70. And Cadman, the last one. Don't love it, but that's how the team looks. So that's how it's looking. Thanks heaps for watching. We will be back. I'll do another review. I'll set up the webcam. We'll do some talking head stuff, mostly Crows related, but we could be, AFL content. Get some people in, have a chat with them. So yeah, thanks for that. See ya.